Astronomers are celebrating a recent study that found the Milky Way has at least 8.8 billion, with a B, stars with planets comparable in size to Earth. To help explain the discovery, our guest is astronomer Dr. Andrew Howard of the University of Hawaii, and he joins us via Skype. Dr. Howard, thank you so much for being with us. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this. What's the biggest deal in this discovery? That there are planets out there that are Earth-like, or that there are so many planets out there that seem to be Earth-like?
You know, for me, the big story is that there's so many. The question we wanted to ask is, when you look up at the night sky, what fraction of the stars have a planet like the Earth? And we now know that it's about 1 in 5 stars like the sun.
And how was that determined? As I understand it, but what our understanding was before was based on estimation. This is based on calculation. Without giving me a headache, explain how you arrived at this number.
We use data from NASA's Kepler Space Telescope. Kepler is a telescope that stares at a patch of sky, and it did this for 4 years. And it looked for planets that happen to pass right in front of their star and eclipse their star, just like we sometimes see Venus eclipse the sun. And it was able to detect these eclipses and measure how commonly planets are found. And this is how we found that Earths are actually some of the most common planets out there in the universe. And in particular, not just Earths that are so close to their host star that they're blowtorched, and so that life would not be possible. And they're not the Earths that are so far away that the water would freeze out as ice. But these are Earths that could potentially have water that is lukewarm and could potentially support life.
And I was just going to ask you then, so what does this mean? I hear all the couching that you're saying, this, could potentially support life, but what's the probability that there's somebody else out there besides us?
Well, what we've shown is that planets the size of Earth, planets the temperature of Earth, these planets are really common. What we don't know yet is if these planets have all of the other great characteristics of the Earth. We don't know if they have the same water content as the Earth. We don't know if they have plate tectonics that shape the continents like our Earth. And at least on the Earth, these were prerequisites for life. The good news is there are literally billions and billions of planets that are this size in our Milky Way galaxy. And to me, that means that there are so many chances, a good share of them, I think, are likely to have the conditions that led to life on the Earth.
Our Milky Way is a mighty big one. How close is the closest one?
Well, so in our Milky Way galaxy, there's about 200 billion stars. That's a few dozen stars per human being on the Earth. If you put this in a little bit closer to home terms, although we observe stars far away, we took a census of those stars. If we apply it to the stars in our neighborhood, it means that the nearest star with a planet like the Earth is probably only about 12 light years away. And astronomically speaking, that's in our backyard.
And as I understand it, if the reading that I've done is correct, 12 light years is about 70 trillion miles, something like that?
It is. A trillion miles sounds like a long way, but the stars are far away, and that's just how long it takes. That's the size of the interstellar backyard.
All right, so what's the next step in study now in this regard?
Well, yeah, so now we know that these planets are common. We want to look for these planets around the nearby stars, and we want to figure out all these other characteristics that make our Earth such a great habitat for life. We want to figure out if these planets orbiting the nearby stars also have the characteristics that make them compatible with life. And to do that, we need to take pictures of the planets, and we need to take spectra of the planets to see if they have the same chemical fingerprints, the same atmospheres as our Earth does.
All right, it's all very exciting. Congratulations on the discovery. Very cool. Come back and tell us more when you have more. Appreciate it. Thank you, Andrew Howard. And thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow on Arise America. Have a great day. Bye-bye.